It's Beep here from Growing Vegetables with Beep. Let's talk hardening off. So these are my runner beans, and I've had them in my conservatory till this size, but they need to go outside soon, and many people lose their plants with hardening off. So what I'm going to do is, it's a lovely morning, it's 7:15. I've put them outside in this corner by my front door, and there they'll stay all day. I'll water them today because they're a bit dry, but you know, overwatering is another huge problem, but we'll do another video on that. And I'll bring them in tonight, and tomorrow, if it's the same weather, I'll put them outside. But if it's windy and the air is just colder, I would put them in my little greenhouse, because they just need to slowly acclimatize to the weather. You can't just put a plant from inside straight to outside. They need to have various stages, and this will usually, I'd probably take 5 days to putting them in, out, bringing them in, putting them out. But the last few days they should be able to just stay outside, so then they're like ready to overnight outside. It's the same with the courgettes, and these are cucumbers, and I grow mine outside. And my courgettes, you've got to bring them out when the weather is lovely and mild, and then bring them in tonight. These got lovely true leaves now. These are getting them, and they're not ready for probably a week. And I'll just bring them in and out, and then one night, if it's mild, keep them outside, but if it's cold, bring them in. You've got to think of them as babies, you know. You wouldn't leave a baby outside in the cold, and these are your babies. Alternatively, if the weather is cold, this morning's a lovely morning, but if it was cold and windy, I would bring them out in my tunnel where it's a bit cooler. Mark has nicked my thermometer, so I can't tell you what the temperature is in here, but it's warmer than outside. So I'd bring them in here so they they need to get used to that chill, a little bit colder. They've been, you know, you've been like in a central nice and warmed house, and suddenly you go out in the cold and you need to wear a coat, you know. Being used to a central heated house, you know, and we'd go outside and put our coat on, and these are used to a very warm conservatory, my, you know, courgettes or even the aubergines. And the same for tomatoes. If you want them, you know, you've grown them indoors and they need to go outside, get them acclimatized to the weather around you. And it may take a few days, but it's so worth it. Even like the tomatoes, if you brought them in from outside, from indoors, and you want to plant them out, just leave them overnight, not planted, but just in their tray, and leave them in your greenhouse just to get used to it, because the temperature is so much lower suddenly, and they'll get used to it. And another thing you can do, say for tomatoes, is put some grass around them, which will keep them nice and warm. You can see how much they've grown. These plants need that. All plants need that transition to get them used to the different temperature, and you just need to do it carefully. Also, say like if you're going to plant out and it's a nice day, start in the morning and then just water lightly. They don't need a big watering. They need to just get used to their new move. And I keep saying to people, they're like babies. You know, how would you treat a baby? And treat your plants like that. Right. Till next time. To do a quick update on the hardening off. These are the runner beans, and they've been, the last 2 days, they've been outside day and night. These are, you can see the change in the colour of the leaf. They're going darker, and as they go darker, they got used to the weather changes, And yesterday we had a horrible day. It was 12 degrees, which isn't too bad, but we had a lot of rain all day long, and I kept them out overnight. And as these leaves darken, they become more ready to be planted outside. They're ready in size, I would like the leaves a little bit darker for them to be totally happy. On the other side is the courgettes and the cucumbers. They came in yesterday when it was raining so badly, because they wouldn't have handled that. They would just, you think the courgettes are big enough, but they, again, you can see when a plant is ready to be planted outside when they go darker green. The darker green shows to me that the plant is ready to be planted outside. But these went back in the conservatory yesterday, but they're outside today. And even though it's not a glorious day, it's not raining and wet. It's like I go back to the children, babies analogy, but you wouldn't leave a baby out in the rain. And these are courgettes are hardier than cucumbers, but they're all hardy as long as you plant them out at the right time and they're ready to go outside. So just thought I'd let you know. It's taken 6 days, but the runner beans are outside planted. They always look a bit sorry for themselves when they get first planted, but will soon settle. So 6 days to harden off for the runner beans. Even though the runner beans are ready to be planted, I'm leaving these a few days longer. The cucumbers will be at least another week, 10 days, but the courgettes will be in the next few days. I'd like them a little bit stronger plants, still a little bit, but they're soon harden off. I'd like them a bit darker green. Then the plant is stronger, the slugs are less likely to eat them because they really like young plants. I've just watered these and the sun is drying them off. But yeah, happy gardening to you all.